He was bullied while growing up. Now he is a one-man army. His is a David versus Goliath story where just one individual has become a nightmare for the multi-million-dollar packaged food industry armed with just Instagram reels. He walked out of a ₹2 crore job in the US, returned to India only to be met with legal notices worth crores. And he believes the most important skill in the 21st century is not coding, it is decoding. In today's episode of ManifestIT, we spotlight Singha, aka Food Pharmer, who reminds youth that you do not need to be in the army to fight a war.
ये लो प्रोटीन हाई शुगर वाले प्रोडक्ट्स खाते साल से छोटे बच्चे को एडेड शुगर बिल्कुल नहीं। हज़ार स्लाइस सबको पता है कि अनहेल्दी है, लेकिन ट्रॉपिकाना अपने आप को हेल्दी मार्केट करती है। चॉकलेट की तरह मार्केट करो ना, ये विटामिन B12 बोल के क्यों बेच रहे हो? आज
Believe it or not, he does not hate junk food. His problem lies with packaged food that masquerades as healthy. You probably know him as an influencer who took on Cadbury. He alleged Bournvita was falsely labeling itself as a health drink when over half of the Bournvita packet consists sugar. Within hours, he got a legal notice from the brand along with earning scores of followers. His follower count grew from 1,000 to 1,00,000, and that's how Revant became Food Pharmer. Growing up in Kolkata, he studied in Don Bosco Park Circus, where he recalls being a skinny and underconfident kid who got bullied. He even lost his front tooth in a fight. But growing up, he also ate a lot of the packaged junk food from the same companies that are under his scanner now. Revant went to study finance at the New York University and started working in a bank in New York. Quite frankly, he admits that he had a lot of free time at work. Entertainment websites were also blocked. So what did he do to kill time? He googled random subjects, which ranged from what percentage of penguins are gay to is the color orange named after the fruit or is the fruit named after the color. Now this accidental inquisitiveness turned into substance when he directed his thoughts towards how human beings tend to be impassive towards the major facets of their life like religion or even their diet. He started writing a self-help book with the hope of inspiring people to question every major aspect of their life choices. But he got turned down by most publishers in the US. Then he decided to Indianize his book to cater to the Indian market. And that got him a contract with Bloomsbury. Excited, he quit his job and moved to India. Meanwhile, his family urged him to pursue higher studies. He managed to get into IIM Bangalore, but he decided to give it a miss to rather focus on his book, taking his friends and family by surprise. They could not understand how anyone could be smart enough to get into IIM but stupid enough to not go. But he did not give in. At 22, he turned into an author with his book Selfienomics, which also featured a chapter on the importance of reading food labels, which can be taken as an early indicator of his interest in health and nutrition. In November 2016, right when his book was published, demonetization happened. Unfortunately, his book did not take off. But he did manage to gain some recognition, and ironically, he was invited to speak at IIM Bangalore, the same institution he had rejected a couple of years ago. He felt like a mini celebrity. Revant received a lot of love and recognition, but he did not manage to make any money. So he decided to reapply for an MBA and went to study at Wharton School in the US. After this, he worked as a management consultant at McKinsey & Company. This stint at the management consulting firm opened his eyes to the role of false marketing of healthy foods. Now, many of his consulting clients happen to be in the grocery space, the same companies that he makes videos about today. Now, a very social impact-driven guy as he calls himself, he decided to take matters into his own hands. Revant took the bold decision of quitting his high-paying job in the US and returned to Kolkata. With a pile of books to set up his phone, no elaborate setup, he posted his first video on April 1st, 2023 as Food Pharmer, which is also a mix of the words pharma and farmer. He highlighted the excessive amount of sugar in Cadbury's Bournvita and called it out for labeling itself as a health drink. Trouble soon followed. Within 24 hours, a manufacturer sent him a legal notice asking him to take down the video. Left with no choice, he had to delete it. But by that time, the video had already gone viral, making headlines, and even today, it continues to be circulated on WhatsApp. It prompted the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights to send Cadbury a notice for using the health drink label for Bournvita. By December, Cadbury had reduced Bournvita's sugar content by 14.4%, the first of the many huge wins for Food Pharmer. The central government also directed e-commerce firms to remove Bournvita and other such drinks from the health drinks category. He stresses that his problem is not with chocolates or Coke as much as with drinks like Bournvita and even biscuits. Because most people have Coke once a week, but children have Bournvita twice a day. So you end up having 14 cups of Bournvita in a week, and the net impact is probably worse. Soon after, he took on Maggi rich tomato ketchup, explaining how the ketchup is more sugar than tomatoes. They later had to reduce its sugar content by 22%. Then Food Safety and Standards Authority of India banned the use of 100% juice labels on packaged juice brands. after Revant created a reel to expose the bitter truth behind the Real juice. Real's parent company Dabur slapped him with yet another legal notice. One company even put a ₹2 crore defamation suit on him. With legal notices piling up, his family was naturally worried. Now, coming from a traditional Marwari family, he was told, "We start business, not fight against them." But Revant is not afraid of making a few enemies, and he isn't going to back off. Living off his savings since his return from the US, he hasn't done sponsored posts so far, and he believes that he is still relevant since he did not monetize any of his content. Having said that, he acknowledges that while he has received a lot of love and support, love, respect, support, likes and shares do not pay bills. Revant is still trying to figure out how to add value to the society and make money without compromising on his values. Meanwhile, Revant has created sugar boards to educate people about the sugar content in different products. He has also partnered with celebrities for his Label Padega India movement, aimed at encouraging the public to read labels beyond the MRP and expiry dates. Today, learning to read a food label is a more important life skill than coding. But a nutritionist in conversation with TOI held, while the effort Food Pharmer puts in exposing gimmicky branding is appreciative, demonizing sugar and palm oil without context isn't helpful. But Food Pharmer says he doesn't tell people what to eat. He only informs them what's inside the product. Revant isn't just another social media advocate. His fight has moved institutions like the Indian Council of Medical Research to not only sit up and take note, but to also actively support. With 2.7 million followers, he hopes to make nutritional knowledge accessible to all. His success story drives home the point: all you need to do is manifest it, chase it, and do it.